last card you have for your past is the Chariot. So yes, I'm seeing a bit of I'm seeing you feeling a little bit out of control at this time. You wanted to bring things into control. You're really trying to, but things were out of control. And it's a really horrible feeling, this feeling of being out of control. I know that feeling. It's really horrible. And I'm actually seeing, I'm seeing some kind of bureaucracy or some kind of thing. You're very, very frustrated with some kind of bureaucracy. You're trying to get help with something. You're trying to get your questions answered or something like that. Trying to kind of organize something and get something done. And a lot of time was being wasted. It was very, very frustrating at this time. And yes, you're trying to get this thing finished. You're trying to get these answers to these questions or whatever this was. And I'm seeing you actually giving up for a while, moving away from this, and then coming back again. It was like, oh, I can't deal with this anymore. I've just got to walk off, and then I'm going to come back and try and tackle this again. So you might have done this a few times. And I really think this might not even have been resolved yet. You might still be going through this right now, even, still kind of not quite finished. I'm seeing phone calls. I'm seeing you trying to kind of almost have to gear yourself up to make these phone calls, if this makes sense, before you actually made them, because you're kind of thinking, oh, I have to make this phone call again. I have to speak to these people. I'm probably going to be on hold and they won't understand me and they'll pass me to somebody else and it'll go on and on like that. And I really don't know if I can cope, but I have to do this. I have to. And that's what I'm seeing. You were kind of determined, like this man in the Chariot. Look at his face. He's so determined. You were determined to solve this. But you couldn't solve this because it wasn't down to your determination. It was down to these other people, and that's what was so frustrating. If this resonates and you're still going through this, and I'm seeing that you probably are still going through this, try to think creatively and maybe try and think creatively outside of this. I'm sorry, there's a vacuum cleaner. Somebody is vacuuming. Right, okay. It's always something, isn't it? Okay, I'm just going to ignore it. So, I'm laughing because it's so ridiculous. Every time I start, there's something. And I thought, I'm going to stop because there's no noise outside. I'm going to start this. And now, there's vacuuming. Okay. So what I'm seeing is frustrating and being frustrated and pushing for this, trying to get this done, has not been working so far. I can see that. So what you're going to have to do is, I'm sorry, it sounds like I'm telling you what to do, but try to kind of meditate if you can, try to get outside of the situation. If meditating is something you do, if not, try to rest and lie down and just get some peace inside yourself. And that's when creative ideas come to you. So it might be that a creative idea comes to you and you might you might be able to bypass these phone calls and these people altogether. Or there might be another creative solution. You might have someone who comes in to help you. You might think of someone who might be able to help you with this outside of this situation. Or it might be something completely different, but something creative that's going to give you a whole new, it would be like, oh, I haven't thought of that. I probably don't even need to do this at all. It might be this. That kind of thing is going to come to you. So try and stop this kind of efforting and this kind of frustration and this pushing, and just take a step back and just think about what you can do creatively. That's what I'm seeing. So the next card you have, your past, is the Six of Cups. So I'm seeing naivety in this card. Being naive. There could have been someone around you at this time who was a little bit naive, actually, a little bit too trusting of someone else. They might have been trusting someone who, I'm seeing someone might have tried to lead them into something that they didn't really understand. It might have been a relationship that they were in that was where they're over their heads, or it might have been someone trying to get them to do something that, they just didn't understand what they were getting into. That's what I'm seeing. And I'm seeing that you wanted to help them at this time. You wanted to give them advice or something like that. But you had to be very, very careful in the way that you said things to this person, because I'm seeing quite a sensitive person. So you didn't want to come in and say, do this, do that, because then they might kind of back away completely and they might not have opened up to you or listened to you at all. So you didn't want to do that. You had to be very strategic, very careful around this person. And, you know, I'm seeing that you were like this. You did come in to try and talk to them. You're being very kind. You're being very gentle. You're coming in very carefully. And you're doing all the right things around them. And I'm seeing that, you know, it might take a few more times, a few more conversations before they'll actually listen to you properly and they'll understand you properly. But I'm seeing that you'll probably have success with this. They'll probably listen to you eventually. But it's going to take a lot of time and a lot of patience to be able to do that. That's what I'm seeing in that card. This might be a relative, a younger relative. Yeah, I just saw that. So yes, the last card you have for your past is the Ace of Pentacles. So yes, stability. This is the card of the ultimate stability. So this person does trust you. They see you as safe. They see you as stable. They see you as dependable. They depend on you. They look up to you. And I'm seeing that you are going to have success with this, with the Ace of Pentacles. You are going to get through to them. You have a way of explaining things in a very clear way, but in a very gentle way, which is exactly how you needed to be around this person. So they can be the opposite. They can be quite spontaneous. They can be openly emotional, all of these kinds of things. They do look up to you. They see you as someone who they look up to, someone who's very bigger than them, in a kind of a, you might be older than them, because I was seeing a younger relative in the Six of Cups. So they do look up to you and they see you as very stable and dependable. So you will get through to this person. So it's going to be a big relief when you realize that they're not going to go ahead with whatever this was. The first card you have, your present, is the Eight of Cups. So again, I'm seeing you are a stable person, and yeah, a lot of people see you as stable and very sensible as well. That's what I'm seeing. But what I'm seeing is sometimes you look for this stability in other people, and sometimes you look for the stability in people who are not stable at all. They're very unstable. Specifically someone, I hope this is going to make sense, but I'm seeing that there was someone from your past, someone who you had a relationship with. Now you might kind of be in a relationship with them, you might be taking a break from them, or you might be separated from this person, or you might have actually broken up with this person. But what happened was, when you were with them, when you started with this person, there was a huge attraction. They're the opposite of you. They're spontaneous. They're, exciting. They're funny, but they're not stable. And so what I'm seeing is opposites attracted, definitely opposites attracted with this person in the beginning. And then you started to kind of see problems around them. I'm actually seeing you thinking something like, if only they'd be more dependable, then they'd be perfect. If only they didn't wander off and do these things. If only they didn't do these reckless things, going off and doing mad things and this and that, and doing these kind of crazy stuff and kind of wandering around. I just want someone who's stable. But, the thing is, don't be angry, but what I'm seeing is they're not you. They're not you. So I'm not saying that you were trying to make them into you, but I'm seeing that you couldn't have it all. You couldn't have someone who was the opposite of you, who was all of these kind of crazy, fun, wacky things, as well as someone who was stable like you. It wasn't going to happen. So I'm actually seeing a similar energy coming from them. They were thinking, if only this person could be a little bit more crazy or something like that. So they were thinking the same thing about you. Now, what I'm seeing in this card is this person really, really still cares about you. They're walking away, or they were walking away from you, but the water's flowing back in the direction it's coming toward you. So it's flowing back very quickly. This is like a river that flows very, very quickly. So the water is flowing back toward you, and their feelings flow back toward you. That's what I'm seeing, toward you. So this could be a temporary break. It could be that they are breaking up from you, or they have broken up from you, I should say, and they are going to come back to you. They want to come back to you. That's what I'm seeing in this card. So the next card you have, your present, is the Seven of Cups. Yes, this is a very confusing card. So this person is very confused. They could be a little bit lost, not just about you, not just in how they feel about you, but in their thoughts, and they might be lost in life, actually. I'm seeing this person might be a bit directionless. So deep down, they do want to connect with you again. I'm seeing that. But I'm also seeing them feeling that they might need to get themselves together first, if that makes sense. Get their life together. They're kind of drifting at this time. They might be... this could be one of the things that used to frustrate you, actually, about them, that they were kind of a bit of a drifter, wandering around from here to here, not really settling properly, and not wanting to put down any roots. It might be that kind of thing. But what I'm seeing is that, yeah, this is the way they're feeling. They're feeling that they want to come to contact you, they want to see you again, they want to talk to you, but they feel like their life's not right. They're still kind of a little bit directionless. They don't feel quite ready. That's what I'm seeing in this card. So the last card you have, your present, is the Ten of Pentacles. So yes, look at that again. You wanted stability, and you still want stability. So you can give yourself the stability. You know that you're a very stable person. But what you are hoping is, when you're with them, that they wanted the same thing that you wanted. So again, I'm seeing that, this person still really, really cares about you. Yes, someone's driving past very noisily. So this person... yeah, I'm seeing this person still really cares about you a lot in this card. They do see a future with you. I'm seeing that. But what I'm seeing is they're not going to change. They're not going to change. So what I'm seeing is, if they do come back, if you do get together with them again, which I can see that both of you would really like to do that, I'm seeing that, you're going to have to decide if you're willing to accept this or not, because they're always going to be a drifter. They're always going to be this kind of happy-go-lucky, unstable kind of person that kind of goes from thing to thing, person to person. They like variety. They don't like to be stable. They don't like to be stuck in one place. That's what I'm seeing with this person. That's what they're always going to be like. So you're either going to have to accept this in them and go with the flow with that, or you're going to have to say to yourself, no, this isn't what I want. I'm going to have to move on from this. So you're going to have some decisions to make, because I'm not seeing them changing. That's what I'm seeing in that card. So the first card you have for your future is the Page of Wands. So yes, look at this. Even though this person's still going to be feeling as if they're not properly together yet to come back and talk to you, I'm seeing that they're really going to come and they're going to suddenly talk to you. That's what they're like. They're spontaneous. They just say, right, I'm going to make up my mind and I'm going to do it. So I never like to say this. I never like to talk about time, time frames or anything like that. But I am seeing a time frame here. I'm seeing 3 weeks here. So this is the first time I've said this in a general reading. 3 weeks. They're probably going to come into contact you. They're probably going to reach out to you sometime over the next 3 weeks. That's what I'm seeing here. So if this is resonating with you, obviously, of course, this is what's going to happen. If none of this resonates, obviously this is not going to happen. But if it does, 3 weeks is what I'm seeing. So they're not going to feel ready, but they're still going to contact you anyway. They're going to be saying, oh, I'm still not ready, but I don't care. I'm just going to contact them. They're very spontaneous. They're going to come forward. They're going to do this. It's going to be a spontaneous message out of nowhere. This is what this person's like. This is going to open up some choices for you. Are you going to be ready to accept them as they are? Are you going to be ready to see them for who they are, just accept them as they are, or are you going to say, no, I'm not going to? That's up to you. But there's going to be a process before you make up your mind about that. You're going to have to kind of go through some things before you make those choices. That's what I'm seeing. The next card you have for your future is Justice. So again, I know I'm repeating myself. I get into trouble for that sometimes, but this is what I'm seeing. I'm just telling you what I'm seeing. I'm still seeing this relationship situation. I'm seeing this person is going to come into your life. They're going to come and contact you. After they do that, you're going to be weighing up kind of the pros and cons about the situation. Just like this woman in this Justice card, she has her scales. Everything's balanced. She's thinking, well, on this hand, they're this. On the other hand, they're this. They might be good for me for this, but then on the other hand, this, that kind of thing. Now they're going to do that about you as well. You're both going to be doing that mutually. This is going to be a slow process. This is going to take a lot of time for you to kind of work through this, and for them as well to come up with, a decision about this, whether they're going to kind of end up with you and whether you're going to end up with them. There's a lot to sort through. That's what I'm seeing. So the last card you have, your future, is the Queen of Swords. Right, what I'm seeing here is, okay, this is a message to you. When they come to talk to you and you have a proper face-to-face talk, a sit-down talk, and you talk about a lot of things, put your guard down. You're going to be a little bit like this Queen of Swords, or you're going to be tempted to be like that. When they start to talk, be very careful not to say, oh, but no, oh, but that, oh, but oh, and start to kind of interject and talk in and kind of be defensive and kind of defend yourself and start to, please don't do that. Please listen to what they have to say. What I mean by, I don't mean agree with everything they say. I don't mean sit there and nod your head and say, oh yes, you're perfectly 100% right all the time, sir. It's not like that. Just listen and hear everything they have to say before you go ahead and say anything. Just say to them, okay, how about one of us speak first and the other one listens and then the other one has a say. You go first, I'll sit here and I'll listen to everything you have to say, and just sit there and listen. Now, if they say things that might be a bit hurtful, a bit difficult, whatever they're going to say, don't jump in. Listen to what they have to say. They have a big flow of conversation coming out of them. They have some very important insights about themselves and why they're this drifting person, why they do what they do, why they're the way they do. There are some very interesting reasons why they are the way they are, and they're going to come out and tell you that. This is going to be a revelation for you. But if you come in and start interjecting and talking, they're not going to come out with this stuff. They're going to feel like, well, this person isn't listening, I can't speak to them. So be very careful to listen before you talk around this person. This is very important. I'm seeing this very clearly. So you're going to have some very interesting insights into this person, and if you don't listen, you're going to miss out on them. That's what I'm seeing.